My wife loved using my car, and I never thought twice about it. But when it broke down and the mechanic suggested reviewing the security camera, what I saw left me in shock. I pressed play, my fingers were shaking. The footage loaded, and then her voice came on. "I swear, babe, he has no idea," she said. I froze. Madison, my wife, was sitting in my car, laughing into her phone. "You should have seen him last night," she giggled, begging me to spend time together as if I'd waste my time on that loser. My stomach twisted, my heartbeat pounded in my ears. Then, a man's voice crackled through the speakers. "A man told you, Maddie, heck too soft. You need a real man, not some pathetic husband who kisses your feet." I gripped the table, my knuckles turned white. Madison's laughter sent a chill down my spine. "Ugh, tell me about it anyway. You coming to the hotel or what?" I felt something snap inside me. The next scene hit like a sledgehammer, my car pulling into a hotel parking lot. Madison's hands were all over a man whose face I couldn't see. The recording ended, but I knew what happened next. I sat there, staring at the screen, as every single thing I believed in crumbled to dust. Without a word, I stood up, grabbed my keys, and walked out the door. Madison had no idea what was coming. I drove without thinking, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles burned. My chest felt like it was about to explode, but my mind was clear, too clear. Everything about my marriage, every kiss, every "I love you," every moment I thought was real, was a joke. And the worst part was she wasn't even careful about it. She thought I was so pathetic that I wouldn't even check. The hotel wasn't far, I knew the name, knew the location. Hell, I'd driven past it 100 times without a second thought, but now it felt like the place where my entire life had been burned to the ground. I pulled up a block away and parked. My fingers tapped against the dashboard. I wasn't stupid, I wasn't about to go in there like some raging idiot and get myself arrested. I needed to think, I needed to play this smart. So I waited. It didn't take long, less than an hour later, I saw her. Madison walked out of the hotel like nothing had happened, hair perfect, clothes neat, like she hadn't just trashed our vows. And then he followed, Tyler. He was taller than me, built like a guy who spent too much time in the gym just to show off. His face was smug, relaxed, he kissed Madison on the cheek before walking to his car. She laughed, touching his arm like a high school girl with a crush. I gritted my teeth so hard my jaw ached. She turned away, pulling out her phone as she headed to my car. I took a breath, forced my hands to stay still. She had no idea I was watching, no idea that I knew. I let her drive off first, followed at a distance. My heart slammed against my ribs with every turn she took. I didn't know what I was going to do when I got home, but one thing was clear, this wasn't over. When I pulled into the driveway, her car was already parked, the same one she used to sneak around like I was some blind idiot. I sat there for a second, gripping the steering wheel, watching the house like it was unfamiliar, like it wasn't mine anymore. Because, really, was it? I stepped out, locked the door behind me, and walked inside. The second I did, I could hear her in the kitchen, humming to herself, just like any other day, like she hadn't just been with another man an hour ago. I clenched my fists, forcing my voice to stay calm. "Hey," I said. She turned, smiling. "Hey, baby. You're home early." The word baby almost made me laugh. She walked up to me, leaned in like she was about to kiss me, but I didn't move. I just stared at her. She frowned, tilting her head. "What?" I exhaled through my nose, my entire body was humming with something violent, something ugly, but I kept my voice level. "How was your day?" she asked. I blinked. "A good one," I nodded, looking at her carefully. "What did you do?" She hesitated but only for a second. "Lunch with the girls, shopping, you know, usual boring stuff." Boring, she called it. The way she lied so easily, so effortlessly, almost made my skin crawl. I stepped back, pulling out my phone. My hands were steady now, too steady. "Funny," I said, tapping the screen, bringing up the video. "Because my car has a camera, and it recorded everything." Her face drained of color. What do you mean?" I hit play. Her voice filled the room, loud and clear, undeniable. "I swear, babe, he has no idea." She flinched. "You should have seen him last night, begging me to spend time together as if I'd waste my time on that loser." Her breathing turned shaky. "Anyway, you coming to the hotel or what?" Silence. She swallowed, stepping forward, her voice suddenly softer, sweeter. "Babe, it's not what you think," I laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. "It's not?" I pointed at the screen. "So this is what a prank, a misunderstanding?" She reached for me, but I stepped back. "I was going to tell you," she said. "Don't," I cut her off. "Don't insult me." Her expression shifted, the panic was still there, but now there was something else, something harder. "Fine," she snapped. "Yeah, I lied. But let's be real here, we've been dead for years. You barely pay attention to me anymore." I stared at her, she said it like I was the problem, like she hadn't just shattered everything. She crossed her arms, lifting her chin. "And what? You think you're some perfect husband? Please. You're boring, Eric. You don't excite me anymore. Tyler does, and guess what, he's better than you in every way." Something inside me went cold. I nodded slowly. "Got it." She smirked, like she'd won something, like she thought I was just going to break down and beg. But she had no idea who she was dealing with. I looked at her, really looked at her, the woman I thought I knew, the one I built a life with, was gone. Or maybe she was never real to begin with. She scoffed when I didn't react the way she expected. "Oh, come on, Eric. Don't act all shocked. You had to know this was coming." I exhaled, shaking my head. You know what's funny? I wasn't even looking. I trusted you so much that I never even thought to check. I held up my phone. But you were so damn sloppy, so arrogant, you thought I'd never figure it out. She rolled her eyes. Oh, please. You men always act like you're the victims, like you never do anything wrong. Maybe if you were more of a man, I wouldn't have had to find someone else. I clenched my jaw. So this is my fault now? She shrugged. I mean, yeah. You got lazy, predictable. A woman like me needs excitement, and Tyler, he gives me that. She smirked, actually smirked. And let's be real, you're not going anywhere. You're too weak for that. I laughed. I actually laughed, not because it was funny, but because I couldn't believe how full of herself she was, how convinced she was that she had me trapped. I put my phone down and looked her dead in the eyes. You think I'm weak? She smiled slow and smug. I know you are. I nodded. All right, let's test that theory. She frowned. What? I walked past her straight to the bedroom, grabbed a duffel bag, and started throwing my clothes in. Madison followed, her confidence was cracking. Wait, what are you doing? I didn't answer. I grabbed my passport, my laptop, a few essentials. Eric, she snapped. What the hell are you doing? I zipped up the bag and turned to face her. Leaving, I said, for the first time since this started. She actually looked nervous. Wait, let's just talk about this, she said. I almost laughed again. Talk? You just told me I was pathetic, that you needed someone better. What's there to talk about? She swallowed, her eyes darted to the bag. Okay, maybe I said some things I didn't mean. I was just angry. But come on, Eric, you're really going to throw everything away over one mistake? I stared at her. A mistake? I gestured to my phone. That didn't sound like a mistake to me. Her jaw clenched. You're seriously overreacting. No, Madison, I said, slinging the bag over my shoulder. I underreacted for too long. That ends today. She reached for me, but I sidestepped her and walked to the door. You're not actually leaving, she said, her voice higher now, almost panicked. I opened the door. Eric, stop, she said, grabbing my arm. We can fix this. I turned my head, meeting her eyes one last time. No. You can fix this with Tyler, since he's so much better than me. Her lips parted like she was about to say something, but I didn't wait. I walked out. You can click on share and more to see if there is a part 2.